This is One Fat Boy. Here are my NBA game predictions for March 14th of 2022. Tonight there is 9 games. I'll go. Oh my god. This is One Fat Boy, and here are my NBA game predictions for March 14th of 2022. Tonight there's 9 games, and I'll be going over the spreads and over-unders for each of the games. For the Clippers at Cleveland, I'm going with Cleveland minus 5.5. Due to the fact that the Clippers played last night, I'll give the edge to Cleveland, and overall Cleveland being a better team this year. Also another checkbox for them to win. So a lot of things pointing for Cleveland to win this game. I will be going over 2-11, as I do expect this game to be like lower scoring, but I think overall that the Cleveland will have a easier time scoring on the Clippers, so I will expect few more points to be scored by Cleveland, so expect me over the 111 mark. I think the Clippers will be able to score 100 points, so hence I'll be leaning towards over 211, and Cleveland should win this game as they've been playing well as a team, like they're getting everybody involved, so that's kind of tough to beat, and Clippers are going to be worn down from last night. For Portland at Atlanta, even though Atlanta played last night in a closer game, I really don't have much faith in Portland overall, so hence I'll be leaning towards Atlanta minus 13. So Atlanta should win this. And last game, Portland, they did blow out the Wizards, but I don't have faith in the Wizards, but I have more faith in the Hawks than I do the Wizards. I think Atlanta have to keep themselves in the playoff race, so they have to win their games, so expect them to beat the Trailblazers. It shouldn't be a problem for them. I expect their defense to hold down Portland, so I'll be leaning towards under 233.5. As Atlanta, they won't have a problem scoring. It's just covering 233.5 points. That might be a lot. And sometimes Portland just goes cold and their score under 100 points, so the disparity of the score can be very large, so hence why I'm leaning towards an under 233.5. For Denver at Philadelphia. So overall for the spread of this game, since Philadelphia played last night, I think Denver has an advantage, but overall, picking a spread, I probably wouldn't choose one for this game, but if I had to lean towards one, I'd lean towards Denver plus 2.5, because I know the Joker is going to show up, and if he plays really well, that'll give him a bolster for his MVP campaign. But this also, if you're Embiid, this should be your chance to really show why you're the MVP this year. But overall, I wouldn't be betting too much on the spread, but leaned more towards an over, as I believe both those two will show up. But I think just having Harden and then also having Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey just have better support on the Sixers side than you do the Nuggets. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jokic just backpacks like mega hard and just Philadelphia doesn't have like an answer, because I think Jokic is just more crafty than Embiid, while Embiid is just more forceful compared to Jokic. But overall, I'll just lean towards Denver, keeping it really close, and just a higher scoring game. For Charlotte at the Thunder, I'll be going with Charlotte minus 8. So the Thunder played last night, and Charlotte did not. And Charlotte, they just have to like score a lot of points, because I think the Thunder are just going to have a hard time keeping up scoring-wise against Charlotte, as the Thunder are more defensive team, and they're not really been viewed as an offensive team all year. So if Charlotte can get going from 3, just pressure them on defense, get a few steals, just like get easy baskets, and just score the ball a lot. Because if they struggle to score, like the Thunder will stay within 8, or Thunder will win. But if Charlotte just like continues to like being the highest scoring team in the league, they should be able to discover an 8-point spread against the Thunder and win the game. And hence I'll be leaning towards over 231.5, as if Charlotte is going to cover that minus 8 spread, that means it's going to score a lot of points, so I just have to lean towards the over for that. For Minnesota at the Spurs, I'm going with Minnesota minus 5. So with Minnesota being the playoffs, and plus just being a better team overall, they've got more pieces that are more complete than the Spurs. Like you have Towns, Edwards, and D'Angelo Russell. While in the Spurs, like your best player is Murray, and then you got some good pieces, but they're not as reliable as Minnesota's. So I will be leaning towards Minnesota winning and covering a 5-point spread. Like as long as Minnesota can like pressure the Spurs and just one or two of those three guys get going, it's like that should be enough for Minnesota to win. I will be going over 233.5 as both these teams can get hot. I think when the official over-under comes out for this game, it will be like probably like 240, but betting 233.5 probably safer, as both teams can put up a lot of points, and they do give up a lot of points too. So expect very up and down, very high scoring. For the Bulls at the Kings, going with Chicago -5. So with Caruso being back, that's a boost for the Bulls. Even though, they played 2 days ago, so Bulls are fine. They won't have a problem winning. Like they're playing the Kings. I'm surprised it's a 5-point spread. Like even if certain players are injured for the Bulls, I think Kings just have a hard time winning in general. As it doesn't matter who's on the Kings, they just seem to lose. But I think the Bulls should be able to score easily, as the Kings do not have a very good defense. I will be going over 224.5 as Kings score a lot. They give a lot of points, and Bulls can score a lot. But I think with Caruso being back, defense will be a little better overall. But not enough to where it's like it'll keep this game under 24.5. But will lean towards an over 224.5 overall. For the Bucks at the Jazz, so with Brook Lopez being out and then Gobert possibly being out as he's day-to-day, I'll be leaning towards Milwaukee -2. The Brook Lopez being back, that should give Milwaukee better rebounding and some better spacing. So there should be a boost for the Bucks. But I just know the Bucks will somehow lose this game. But I just have more faith in the Bucks winning, as just having like someone come back. That's usually a boost for your team. So we'll lean towards Milwaukee -2. We'll also lean for a higher scoring game. So I'll be going over 230.5, because I don't expect like Lopez's defense to be like stellar first game back, and with Gobert possibly being out, that means Jazz will give up a few more points. I think Milwaukee will continue to give up the same amount of points they have been giving up, which is a lot. So hence I'll be leaning towards an over for this game, and over 230.5 is reasonable. For the Wizards at Golden State, we go with Golden State -12.5. So Wizards, I really have no faith in them. And then the way that the Warriors played against Milwaukee, if they can just like knock down their open threes again, shouldn't be a problem beating the Wizards and covering a 12.5 spread. And that was with Curry not even like trying to shoot the ball too much. So Golden State should win this no problem. We'll be going under 225, as I think the Warriors' defense will really affect the Wizards. And I don't expect like the Golden State 3-point shooting to be as hot as it was against Milwaukee. So hence I'll be leaning towards under 225. But if you want to take the over, if you think that Wizards are going to score like a few more points, like more than like 105, and the Warriors are going to be like hot like they were against Milwaukee, take the over. But I think the defense of the Warriors will really slow down the Wizards, and Golden State will be as hot. So hence I'm leaning towards an under 225. But Warriors should win, no problem. For Toronto at the Lakers, we lean towards Toronto -4. So Lakers played last night and were beat down, so they won't be as spent, but since they're old, they're going to be a little more spent because it's a back-to-back. And then Toronto has been playing very well, beating some quality teams on their West Coast trip. So just have to lead them towards Toronto winning this. And -4, it's kind of a generous spread towards Toronto. Is this probably, well, it should end up being like a double-point digit win for Toronto. So I was like, for sure Toronto should win this game. I will be leaning towards over 224.5, as Toronto should be able to score on the Lakers, no problem. I think LeBron will try and backpack this team like to a win, so expect him to score a lot of points. Then if he's scoring a lot, I mean, scores will be a little higher, but it also opens up teaming, like shots for the Lakers. But I think Toronto should be able to score no problem. And I think there's enough defense to like have Toronto like win the game pretty easily too. But overall, there's a lot of tools on Toronto, a lot of options for them to score with, so betting an over. And it's the Lakers game. They tend to not play defense either, so I think it's safe to bet towards an over. Thank you for watching. As always, bet responsibly, have fun betting, and have fun watching sports. And once again, thanks for watching.